Hello, friends and family, BC, worldwide, what's going on? It's a Friday, and I'm going to start this video out by doing something that I just really have to do, which I got to bite the bullet and I have to market myself. I gotta be wise about this and do what you have to do, which is you have to do business. So let me do some business first, okay? I want to let people know that In Fact Recordings, Kinetic Records out of Greece, is taking pre-orders for this limited edition CD cassette release of my 2006 electronic soundscapes album, Way Stasis. They started taking pre-orders on Monday. There's only 99 copies total, 33 of these, 66 of these. You have to get them through the label. They haven't sent me any to sell so far. I don't imagine I'm going to get any of these. These are probably sold out or close already. But I'll leave the address if you're interested in owning one of these. You can order direct from the label. In Fact Recordings, Kinetic Records, Greece. I'm extremely pleased and honored to be on the label, and that they approached me to re-release some of my music. Myself, I've had a couple of orders come in this week, and it reminds me of the fact that since I don't advertise, people have no way of knowing about my records. If you don't know, then how can you find out? Because I'm not able to advertise. So therefore, I need to use this time to tell people I'm a recording artist. I'm doing a fundraiser for my next album, Murphy. It's going well, but if you'd like to pre-order the album or just contribute, I'll leave the link below. But I also have my own label, DVH Recordings, and I have a couple of records in stock. I've released 7 records so far on my label. Most of them are sold out. But my latest album, Flyover, which is a version of a soundtrack, music I wrote for a movie soundtrack last year, Flyover Country. This is an edition of 500 copies. As you can see, foil lettering, silver foil lettering, full color inner sleeve, purple splatter vinyl. But the best thing about this is that the music deserves it. You can listen to all of my music on Bandcamp. I'll put the link below. This is available for sale. I'm still selling them generally for $15 to people overseas. Very soon I'm going to up the price to $20 per unit. My first solo album that I released on CDR in 2001, I reconfigured for vinyl last year. Nice is the name. This one I made in an edition of 300 copies originally, but now there's 400. There's 100 black vinyl and 300 yellow vinyl. This is still selling for $15 through my blog spot. I accept PayPal. I don't do credit cards still. Maybe soon I'll get into doing credit cards, but this is mainly what I have for sale. I do also help sell this album by Kleeman that I play bass on. I didn't release this on my label, but I play on this album by this Danish artist Kleeman, Gunnar Kleeman, different. Adult pop is what I call it. Chicago Acoustic Underground put this album out, but since I play on it, I help to sell it. So this is available through me as well. I'll leave the links below. On the same tip, my good friend, and we talked about it yesterday, I'm going to go ahead and talk about it today. You'll see this, Trevor. Trevor Henderson is a new friend, someone I'm just getting to know. He's a fan. He likes my music, but he's a good guy, and so we've been hanging out a little bit. And he was recently inspired to put together these images, and I really liked them, and he brought them over, and we talked about whether or not doing a run of posters, and that's his design. I'm talking about I'm not going to use this logo because that's a pastiche of 4AD, which I only intended to use once. So we're going to... This is a prototype that he was showing me. And I thought I'd go ahead and show these and get some input now, which is... I know that I'm going to get a short, limited run of these made to include with the perks. Folks that have given me $50 or more for Murphy will get one of these with their order. Okay. There's 3 different variations. That's one. I really like that one. This is my favorite. He's redoing it with a higher resolution photograph, though. And I think he's going to redo the... well, anyway, this is a prototype. But the thing that I'm going to go ahead and ask is whether or not folks would be interested in purchasing these. If so, Trevor and I will endeavor to start making these and making them available. But if no one is interested in buying them, and of course not, as I said, the reason why I haven't gone into marketing myself more over these past years is because it's just not what I'm in this for. I wanted to make the records, but you have to go to market. And I just have been really fighting it, but it's like there's no fighting it. It's just reality. These are... This version is the first version he did, which will not go out because the backgrounds he didn't have permission to use. So this is my copy, but I'm showing what he's done so far. Let me know in the comments if any of you would actually be interested in having a poster and would be willing to buy it. Part of what I'm thinking is honestly due to meeting and visiting with Say Adams a little bit. Say Adams is a graphic artist. He was the original graphic artist in charge of graphic arts for Def Jam. Here's one of his pieces, Hello Nasty by Beastie Boys. He is a very good friend of the Beastie Boys. He's here in town right now doing an art residency at Bemis. I did a residency at Carver Bank, which is part of Bemis, but he's at the main place. And the guy is a dynamo, and he's inspiring, and he's also very intelligent and down to earth. And he's just saying there's no way around it, So you got to do things so you can survive. You have to go to market. You do your art, but you also do what you got to do in order to do the art. And so this is my way of trying to do that better, which is I gotta go to market and let you know what it is I have that you can buy to support me. Not support me. This is what I have. It's like shit. I got good stuff for you to buy. Okay, so that's out of the way. Took up most 8 minutes. Let me know, folks, if you're interested in these. Also, keep the Murphy campaign going. Even if I reach my goal, if I reach it before the deadline, any money that I can accrue, I can keep and I can use. Believe me, folks, I can use it right now. Some records that are sitting out that I've been playing. Couleur de Moon. This is a single by Nurse with Wound, where they use a sample from the album The Oimels by Wolfgang Downer, which was pointed out to me in a Facebook group. It's like I should have known. I have Oimels on the computer, so I played them back to back yesterday and I said, sure enough, Nurse with Wound, a very interesting... Steve Stapleton is mainly the guy behind Nurse with Wound. If this cover intrigues you, then find out about Nurse with Wound if you don't know them. Got into some Sakamoto last night, Illustrated Musical Encyclopedia. I hope he's doing well with his cancer treatment. Love this man's music. Played this all the way through last night. Is it Alexander Kowalski, Progress, some techno from early 2000s. And at first I put it on and it just sucked me in. I played all 4 sides. Excellent. Excellent. I love electronic music. We were talking about Japanese bands, and I pulled this. Flower Traveling Band, Makeup. This is a reissue. The original of this that came out in Japan came out in an actual leather bag. Joe Van Nee is an Italian collector who is back online on Facebook reposting. His collection is incredible. He has an original of this, so he just posted it at my request today. So we get to see an actual leather bag and stuff, and it's a double album inside. Flower Traveling Band were a hard rock band from Japan who definitely were influenced by bands like Deep Purple and Led Zeppelin. Ayeketa, Remy Kabaka, Abdul Lasisi Amau, and Steve Winwood. Upbeat, happy African music on Antilles. Stereolab. Now this is just really where I'm at, electronic, krautrocky. Stereolab. Cobra and Phases group play Voltage in the Milky Night on Duophone. I love this band. Stereolab. Cecil Taylor, What's New? This is a reissue of an album he made called Nefertiti, the Beautiful One Has Come. And this music doesn't mess around. Okay, Cecil Taylor is one of a kind when it comes to piano, jazz, music, thinking. On the Freedom label, ultimate free jazz. This is just so fantastic. Played this because I had forgotten what it was like. Sue Garner and Rick Brown, still on Thrill Jockey, early 2000s. Sue Garner was in a band out of Athens called Vietnam that you don't see their records, but they were influential. She's played with a lot of folks. Done a lot of country influenced alt, okay? And that's in here, but what I like is how it's completely like off the train track of country. So you hear it, but it's not country. You just hear that that's in there, but this is something of its own, which I like. Edgy. Sue Garner and Rick Brown, still on Thrill Jockey. This is really good. Almost country, but then it's electronic and post-rock. I think this is great. And there's just a lot of unsung records, or a lot of records that are really, really good that have not been critically lauded, and so people aren't rushing after them like the ones that have been critically lauded over and over again. But I just want to state again for the record that I firmly maintain that there are records that the critics know shit about that I'm just one who's trying to show some of those records. And it's like the process of discovery in music is wonderful. Find out what you like, use critics and writers as resources, but trust your ears and what you like, because there's a lot of good music that the critics don't get. Nick Turner's Sphinx, he was in Hawkwind. I think this came out in 1978. Exit In Today. This is a strange, cool album. Very much about Egyptology. Music is spacey as heck. I keep returning to this Sid Arthur Sound Mirror because they're one of my favorite new bands, and this new album is fantastic. Got the download card and stuff in the back there. Excuse me. Sid Arthur, if you haven't heard him yet, great new prog. Something that was given to me this year, BCLT Raw Material. It's a reissue. Was playing this yesterday. This is a great album too. Hard rock and prog. Raw Material. I think it was an English band. Original copies of this are expensive. I'm glad to just have the music. Another fantastic prog album, Song of the Marching Children by Earth and Fire. This is an original. Dutch band. What's cool about this band is that it's considered prog, but it's also pop. And they had several pop hits over in the Netherlands. Love that inner You know, you see the black, and then you open it up. This is very good album. Song of the Marching Children. Pull this out. I don't have her new album, but I love this album. Arch Android by Janelle Monáe. Now, she's mainstream. You know, she's dealing with mainstream success now, and I tell her go. She was just on Sesame Street. She says it's one of her dreams coming true. I'm happy for her. But she also is a very dynamic, talented, original artist. And even though she's making all the right moves for commercial success, this is also very original and really good musically. Janelle Monáe. This is a monster psychedelic album. This is a reissue. Dom, Edge of Time. This is truly psychedelic. I mean, this is like dropping acid without dropping it. Played it yesterday morning. It's been overcast. Yesterday it rained a bunch. Same today, it's gloomy. To me, that's the perfect time for music like this, to go deep into the head. Edge of Time by Dom. Fantastic. I was getting into some Hawkwind, and I have, I think it was London Jones that gave this to me, an original of In Search of Space by Hawkwind. This Hawkwind, Masters of Space Rock from England. Masters of Space Rock. It's got the booklet or the inner. Yep, it's got it all. Yeah. Hawkwind. I saw them live when Lemmy was still in the band. They were dosed. It was so obvious, and they were awesome. And then here's a reissue on Back in Black. We'll show it right quick since I'm going to go ahead and take the time to do the full video, but it's beautiful red vinyl. Love Hawkwind. I love Hawkwind. Let's see. I've got more records to show you. Let me set that. As I showed you, I got that Tangerine Dream. I played it several times. Excellent. I pulled this psychedelic pop, The Comfortable Chair, 1968, I believe. This was produced by Densmore and Krieger of The Doors. They have a female lead vocalist, and it's good. It's good. Starts off weak and just gets better. Bit of trivia: they made an appearance in a Jackie Gleason movie as in the '60s as the psychedelic band playing Child's Garden. Second song up here, so you can look that up online on YouTube here and see it. Something like the Divorce Game or something like that. Good album. Comfortable Chair. Pulled this. The person has long since gone from the VC, but years ago a Brazilian guy was making videos, and he sent me some VC LT, and this album, MPB4 with Quarteto MC. Cobra de Vidro. I would compare this to something like the Free Design. It's pop, but Brazilian style, great harmonies, more of an up feel with most of the songs. I don't speak Portuguese, so I don't know what it's about, but excellent, excellent. Quarteto MC. This record always makes me think of Chris Oliver, Ollie Rules, because it's Elephant Six related. Bablicon. Members of Neutral Milk Hotel and Olivia Tremor Control are involved in this. Kind of you could call it it's their take. They say it's their take on free jazz. This is pretty good. I would say the jazz part is minimal. It's more like they're making good sounds. Sounds like there's some good, I wouldn't call them jams, experiments. I like this double album, Bablicon. Before I forget, the video before this one, I play along to Murphy on the bass, and then someone said they wondered why I don't add live bass. Well, on all of my records up until the last two, Flyover and my new one, Murphy, I play real instruments all the way through all the albums. When I got the software to do Murphy, to do the soundtrack, which is MIDI based, I'd been wanting it, but I'd never owned it before. I was so happy, and I've been so happy with the results, that when I've gone to add live instruments and then, you know, started to undertake that work, it was like I'm personally not needing this for these tracks, although it does add, you know, another dimension without a doubt. So that's why I didn't add any live instruments to Murphy or Flyover, you know, because it was just going so well. And on my next record, do I endeavor to add live instruments? Well, if it's left up to me, we'll see. But if people are telling me, well, you know, I gotta say this, it's like, well, yeah, you play more live instruments, we'll buy your records, you know, I'll listen to that, you know. Otherwise, I'm just doing kind of what I feel, you know. And like I said, in my development, you know, working with MIDI capabilities is still new for me, you know. It's new because I'm just got to own it. The software. Azimuth, Brazilian band, Outubro. Their first album is highly collectible on a small label. This is on Milestone, damaged, but excellent jazz, rock, prog, whatever you want to call it. Beck, Bogan, and Abersey live in Japan. This album is uneven, but to hear it, so you can hear Jeff Beck just go crazy, well worth it. Japanese import. This is the second version. You know, I was checking it out. It was re-released the same year, 78, that it came out, and this is the second edition. Steven Shipper, if you see this, thank you again. I played this the other night. The Best of the Spotniks. You sent this to me years ago, VCLT. And it's a take on like Telstar, The Ventures, that type of nerdy guitar music from the early 60s. Love it. Love it. Fields. This was supposed to be a supergroup. King Crimson, Rare Bird, who else the members had played in. Starts off with a bang, and then it just doesn't go anywhere. Glad to have it in the collection. In my opinion, the album doesn't hold up to the opening track. The opening track promises a lot, and that's it. The first track is the only one that delivers, in my opinion. I was listening to the Yardbirds, Roger the Engineer. This is an early pressing of this from the 70s, although the album is from the 60s. And quite a bit of this is blues, again, because of how it figures into my life and when I heard it and what it means to me. It's always a joy to listen to the Yardbirds. Birmingham Sunday, Pop Psych. Fantastic. They get compared to the Mamas and Papas, but I would just say, if you can hear this, first track will pull you in right away. Classic. Sound of the 60s, classic. We got a long video here, but I'm getting through all these. I got through them good, because I like to put the records away because the pile gets big down here. Just to refresh your memory, review the front of the video if you would, and add my records to your collection. They're already collector's items, but beyond that, I really am have been, and continue to make good music, good personal music. You know, I make it for me, and I'm sharing it with you. I don't make it because I know I can make $1. I need to make $1, and it's worth the dollars. So check it out, folks. And I got about a month to go on my Indiegogo campaign. Please help me get this next album out. I'm hoping to hear from Pirates Press about the test pressings being on their way. I'm hoping to hear today about tracking. It's been about time. This is the hard part about making records, is the manufacturing process, is the waiting. It takes time. There's many steps, and it gets tough waiting. It does, So I'm at that point, All right. I'll see you soon. Let me know. Give me feedback about the poster idea. Should we go for this? All right.